Hello students, welcome to class 11 physics class. Today's topic is error in measurement. That means error means whatever the mistake we have to done during the experiment, during the calculations, that is called error. And we also study different types of errors, how we measure or how we calculate the errors. Okay, so before we start the main topic, that is error, first of all we have to understand two terms related to error. First one is accuracy and second one is precision. Accuracy and precision, these two are the more important topic for calculation of error. So what is accuracy? Accuracy means accurate value of a given physical quantity which can be measured. We know that physical quantity means it will be measured quantity. When those quantities are measured, we say that that quantity is a physical quantity. So what do you mean by the accuracy? How we define it? It refers to the closeness of a measurement to the true value of the physical quantity. How much it accurate to the accurate value? Because for a simple example, we know that the value of acceleration due to gravity is 9.81 meter per second square in SI system. But when we find out this value practically in our practical lab, this value will not come. Sometimes its value come 9.71, sometimes its value come 9.90. Okay, so this is then that two values are not the accurate value, but which value is very close to, how much is close to the accurate value. Okay, it refers the closeness of the measurement of the true value is 9.81, but practically we cannot get this one, so that is called accuracy. So we can say that every measurement is limited by a reliability of the measuring instrument and skill of the person making the measurement. That depends upon the person also, because same experiment, if the three students do the same experiment, in three cases we get the three different results. Not so different, but little bit difference is there. That means the measurement is limited by the instrument and also by the person also. So if we repeat a particular measurement, we usually do not get the precisely the same result, as each result is subject to some experimental error. And this imperfection in measurement, this imperfection, it is not accurate value, how much it close to the accurate value or the true value. This imperfection in measurement, it describes in two ways. One is accuracy, another one is a precision. So how we define accuracy? It refers to the closeness of a measurement to the true value of a physical quantity. That means it indicates the relative freedom from error. As we reduce the error, the measurement become more accurate. If we understand what is our fault, if any setting of the instrument or taking the data, if we understand, so if we reduce that errors of the measurement, then the value will be more accurate. Okay, understand? Now next one is the precision. Precision is the limit to which a quantity is measured, or we can say that it is a degree of exactness of the measurement. Degree of exactness of the measurement. That means suppose in your 11 two practicals are there for measuring the diameter of a wire using the screw gauge and diameter of a cylindrical or spherical body using the vernier caliper. For both cases, we first of all find out the least count, and when we do that practical, we see that the screw gauge has least count. Screw gauge has smaller least count than the vernier caliper. So we say that the screw gauge measured more accurate than the vernier caliper. So from that example, we conclude the smaller the list count, greater is the precision. That means precision is determined by the list count of the measuring instrument. Each instrument has a list count. Okay, for using the screw gauge, speedometer, vernier caliper, each instrument has a list count. So that list count, if it's very smaller, then the precision, that means exactness of the measurement is more or the greater. Or if if we repeat a particular measurement of a quantity a number of times, then the precision refers to the closeness of the set of values so obtained. Clear? Now we consider one example. What is the example? Suppose in our practical lab, 3 students find out the mass of a metal block or a metal substance, and whose accurate mass is 0.520 gram. And we have this data from first student. For measurement 1, 0.52 gram. For measurement 2, he get 0.51. Measurement 3, 0.50. Because of this variness of this data, we calculate the average. So in practical class also, we take 3 to 5 times to collect the data, and at last when we write down the result, we calculate the average result or average measurement. So this is a first student get, and the average is 0.51. Now you see that in between measurement 1 to measurement 2, measurement 2 to measurement 3, the difference is 0.01. That means the list count is 0.01 gram. But the accurate value is 0.50. So it is neither very accurate nor precise. And average value also not accurate to the true value. Okay. Now number 2, second students, calculate this mass of this metal, please. 0.516 gram, 0.515 gram, 0.514 gram, and the average is 0.515 gram. So now this case, the list count is 0.001 gram. It is more precise compared to the first student, but this average value is not accurate. So it is more precise but not accurate, and the first student's neither very accurate nor precise, not close to the accurate value. And student 3, third student, collecting this data 0.521, 0.520, 0.520 gram, and the average is 0.520. So this value and this value is same. So now in this case, the both precise and the accuracy are these data are more precise and more accurate because this value is matched with a true value. Okay, but in this case the list count is same, 0.001, 0.001 gram. This is more precise but not accurate. What is the difference between them? Its average value is more accurate, exactly the accurate value we get, but here we cannot get. So if the student, second student, third students using the smaller list count compared to the first one, but what is the difference between them? The second student precision is good, but not the accurate value is not equal to the not come. But in case of a third student, both this data are both precise as well as the accurate also. Understand? So accuracy is the closeness of a measurement to the true value of the physical quantity, and the precision is the degree of exactness, how much it close to the true value, degree of exactness, or we can say that the limit to which the quantity is measured, that is called precision. Okay. Now we comes to our main point, that is error. Error in measurement. What do you mean by the error? Error means any fault. Okay, so in physics language, how we say define error? Error is defined the result of every measurement by any measuring instrument contains some uncertainty. This uncertainty is called error. For if we consider the second student, the value is 0.515, but the exact value is 0.520. What is the difference between them? 0.005. Okay, so this 0.005 is the error that is get by using that instrument. So each instrument has some fault due to its manufacturing defects or due to the wear and tear, the friction. Okay, so each for every measurement, the result of every measurement by any measuring instrument contains some uncertainty. This uncertainty is called error. And we say that the error is the difference between true value and the measured value of the quantity, what we measured. And if you have the true value, if you know the true value, the difference between it. So if you take the previous one example, that second student have 0.515 average value, but the accurate value is 0.520. So if we subtract this two value, we get the error. So we can say that error equals to true value minus measured value. Okay. Now we studied the types of error. In general, the errors are three types. If we classified in three groups: systematic errors, random errors, list count errors. List count errors due to that measuring for instrument, it arises due to the measure of the measuring instrument. List count error, it is an error associated with the resolution of the instrument. For example, we also already discussed the vernier caliper has the list count 0.01 centimeter, but the spherometer or the screw gauge have the list count 0.001 centimeter. Okay, so which one is more accurate? Give us the more accurate value? Screw gauge, because its list count is more than the vernier caliper. So this is called list count error, because of the list count. For the this is the smallest value that can be measured by the measuring instrument. Okay, this is the list count value. Systematic errors. Systematic error, because of the measurement of the magnitude, the direction, either it will be positive or negative due to the system. Okay, the systematic error are those that tends to in one direction, either it will be positive or negative. Systematic, the answer is system is there, so the error caused by the system, that is called systematic error. So if we define this one, the error which tend to occur one direction, either positive or negative, are called systematic error. And we can eliminate this such error once we know the rule for which governs them. And this systematic error also has a different types. These systematic errors arises due to the instrumental error, due to the carelessness of due to the persons. Okay, sometimes we are not serious about the experiment, just taking the data, but we cannot measure accurately, because this is a lack of proper setting of the apparatus, lack of the carelessness, individual carelessness, that is called personal errors. So these systematic errors are many types. It's occur either due to the instrumental error, either due to the personal errors, or due to the some external causes. External causes means, suppose you measure the length of any particular physical quantity and you have a steel scale, and we know that if the temperature is increases, is that the scale also expand. So in that case we have error in measure the length. So this is the external causes, not only the temperature but also the pressure, the external conditions. If they will change, then we get the errors in for measurement. So this all are the included in system, because this is a system. External causes, this is a system. Personal error, instrumental error, error due to the external causes. So how we define instrumental error? This errors arises from the errors due to the imperfect design of the measuring instrument. Many times you see in your practical lab the screw gauge, 5 or 6 screw gauge are there, but each screw gauge are having error. How we find out the error we also discuss in a practical class, but in each screw gauge the zero mark of the circular scale not coincide or the zero of the main scale. If not coincide that two zeros, that means the instrument has some error. So whenever we taking the data, after the before writing the final result, we have to subtract this whatever the error from the either subtract, or sometimes we also can add it. Then we write the final result. Then the personal errors. Such errors arises due to the individual bias, lack of proper setting of the apparatus, or individual's carelessness in taking the observation without observing proper precautions. Sometimes it will happen in the practical lab. If 10 students are there, 5 students are very serious about the experiment, and the 5 are gossiping with each other, laughing, or busy with another subjects. Okay, that is a carelessness. When during the exam time they will not do the experiment properly. These things has happened every year. Okay, now the next one, this is a systematic error. Okay, list count error we understand. Now the random error. What is a random error? Random errors are those errors which occurs irregularly and hence are random with respect to sign and size. That means the error which occur irregularly and at random in magnitude and direction are called random errors. Such error occur by chance and arise due to slight variation in the attentiveness of the observer while taking the reading, or because of slight variation in the experimental condition. For example, if a person repeats the observation a number of times, he may get different readings every time. Random errors have almost equal chances for both positive as well as the negative errors. So, the arithmetic mean of a large number of observations can be taken as the true value of the measured quantity in that condition. Understand that we know that the mean value means if for same experiment we calculate 3 or 5 times data, and when we write down the final result we taking out the means. If you have 5 data, first we added them, then divided by 5. Okay, and because of the slight variation of the, suppose first observation 0.51, second observation 0.52 or 0.515, very less difference between them, but not the exact in every time he got the different values. So that time we consider the mean value as a true value. If if there is no other method to find out the true value. Understand, that is called random errors. It is irregular. It occurs irregularly with respect to the sign, size, that means the magnitude and the direction, like this way. Understand? Okay, so these are the types of errors. Main types: systematic error, random error, list count error. The types of systematic error, instrumental error, personal error, error due to external causes, and the random error. Okay, now we discuss how we calculate errors. This is the types of error. But if you have any problem, okay, then how you calculate the error? Sometimes numericals also come related to errors. So suppose in any measurement of any physical quantity, the values you have A1, A2, A3 up to AN. So arithmetic mean we know that. So we have n numbers of quantity. So a mean is represented by A bar, or you can write A mean. That is equals to A1 plus A2 plus A3 up to AN divided by n, because n numbers are there. Now, so why we first of all we find out the mean value. If there is no other method to find out the true value, using that data, first of all you find out the mean value, because this mean value is considered as a true value of that physical quantity. Now, absolute error. What do you mean by absolute error? Absolute error is denoted by mod. This is a modulus. This is the modulus sign, mod. Two straight line is there. Mod of delta A. Delta means change. This delta, this is a capital delta. This is capital delta. Delta A. Delta means change. Okay. Between two quantities. So the magnitude of the difference between the true value of the quantity and the individual measurement value is called absolute error of the measurement. Don't understand, no? So this is the mathematically we can understand individual measurement. Individual measurement means for first quantity delta A1, that is equals to this mean value minus A1. Delta A2, that is, so individually we find out the absolute error. So delta A1, delta A2 up to delta AN, that means true value minus measured value. So delta A is represented by mod of delta. Mod of delta means if the quantity, after subtracting this, if the quantity is negative, it converted into positive. If positive is there, no conversion. That means absolute error always a positive. Always a positive, not the negative. Delta A calculate in the above may be positive in certain cases and negative in the some other cases, but absolute error always be positive because mod is there. Modulus means if any negative term is inside the mod, it will be, that's suppose mod of minus 3, that is equals to, we can write 3. Okay, so absolute error always a positive value, will have always positive, be positive. Okay, and here we write, in the absence of any other method of knowing true value, we consider the arithmetic mean as a true value. So first we find out the mean, then we find out the absolute error. Absolute error means individual. Absolute error means the magnitude of the difference between the true value of the quantity and the individual measurement of the value. True value means mean and the individual measurement. The subtraction or difference is called delta A1. For the first one, for the second one, this is up to n. Okay. Next, mean absolute error. Mean absolute error. So mean value means added that data divided by number of physical quantity. So in absolute error, you find out individually first one, second one up to n. So you added this all up to n divided by n. So absolute error, mean absolute error means added the absolute errors divided by n. So mathematically we can write delta A bar. Delta A represent the absolute error. Delta A represent the absolute error. So that is A bar equals to mod of delta A1 plus mod of delta A2 up to delta AN divided by n. So the final result we can write A equals to A bar plus minus of delta A bar. Now relative error. Relative error is represented by small delta. This is the sign of small delta. This one is a capital delta. This is a small delta. This is used for a very big change for the in case of subtraction or difference between two quantities, and this is for a small change. Delta we use for small change. Relative error is denoted by delta A. That is this relative error is a ratio between the mean absolute error to the mean value of the quantity. This is the normal mean value what we find out at first, then the this is the delta A. Mean is the mean absolute error. So mean absolute error and the mean value, the ratio between mean absolute error and the mean value is called relative error. And the percentage error, when you find out the relative error, then multiply with 100, we get the percentage error. Understand? So in this class we studied the first of all two terms, the accuracy and the precision, what we used in case of find out the error. Now then the error is a true value minus measured value. Types of error: systematic error, random error, list count error. Types of systematic error. Okay, then how we calculate the error, the steps. First of all, if you don't have any other method to find out the true value, then we find out first a mean, and that mean value is considered as a true value of that physical quantity. Then the absolute error is this one is a magnitude of the difference between true value of the quantity and the individual measurement value, and it is denoted by delta mod of delta A. Okay, that's why absolute error always be positive. Then mean absolute error, added the values of absolute error divided by n, because n quantities are there. Then the relative error is a ratio between mean absolute error to the mean value, that means a true value of the physical quantity, and it is denoted by delta A, small delta A. And if we multiply the relative error with 100, then we get the percentage error. In next class we solve some numerical problem related to error, and we also find out these steps. First of all we find out the mean, then absolute mean error, then absolute error, then mean absolute error, relative error, percentage error. Okay, step wise we all solve that numerical problem, 2 or 3, if possible 2 or 3. Okay, then you can understand more accurately. Here also be accuracy is there. No. Okay, so in next class we solve some numericals related to error, and stepwise we find out the error, different types of error, not the different types, different steps: mean absolute error, mean absolute error, relative error, and the percentage error. Clear? If you have any problem, please write in a comment box. I will try to give the answer, solve your questions. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.